Okay, so moving right along then, Keel, why don't you finish us out with your story for the week?
Well, you guys mentioned you wanted to hear more about the guidestones,
Mhm.
and
Great.
surprisingly, there's not a whole lot of new information. They still don't have any suspects, and they're still investigating. But apparently, there have been some um, auctions popping up on Facebook Marketplace where people are trying to sell chunks of the guidestones. And the
Wow.
people that hold the currently have control of the guidestones, the Grant Association up there in Elberton, they're cautioning people that all of those are fake. Do not buy the fake Georgia Guidestone pieces from Facebook Marketplace or anywhere else for that matter.
Well, and it's funny. So as you were saying that, I'm thinking, I got a bunch of rocks in the backyard. I could fool some idiots.
And I was thinking, hey, you can't keep down the free market.
That's
Yeah.
right.
There'll be a little bit that says maintain the population at less than 500 because the thousands of bits have been chopped off.
Right.
I'm
But
very
then
pleased.
who would serve the enemy class?
I was very jealous to miss out on the last Guidestones talk because I actually had a question, something I wanted to say, and a question about this because it had all those astronomical alignments, didn't it, on the Guidestones?
They did.
I don't think you can just, not some guy in the street who could come up with that. There had to be a lot of thought and sort of calculations put into that sort of thing. So I presume it wasn't the granite people who were making it who came up with all that stuff. Somebody actually came up with that in the design. So they must be sort of plugged into something or other.
Yeah, it was very well
And
planned.
my other question was, yeah, my question was to you guys. Our listeners may not know that a lot of you are based in Georgia. Whether any of you have actually been to see the Georgia Guidestones?
Yes, I
What did you
have.
think?
Wow,
That's cool.
what was it like?
It was I don't know, it's just like the pictures. They're just big giant granite. These well carved granite slabs all stacked up on top of each other. It's out in the middle of a big field, just kind of farmland all around you. And you can just go up there and, you know, hug the stones or, stare at them, take pictures in front of them, and that's about it.
Graffiti on them.
Yeah, I didn't go out to get up there at a solstice or whenever things were supposed to line up, anything like that. It was just happened to be in the area.
That's what I
But
was gonna ask if you felt some kind of a some kind
no,
of a vibe.
no, I didn't feel anything special, but I'm glad I got to see them because I had heard about them for years before that, and we were up there, and I wanted to make sure I saw them at some point. I didn't know they were going to get blown up, but
Obviously.
yeah. But
I understand they're sort of in the middle of nowhere, aren't they? Pretty much.
yeah, it's just a small town, Elberton, and there's just tons of farmland, and
Yeah.
that's just sitting out in somebody's on the corner of their pasture.
And was the farmland leased by the entity that was managing the Guidestones?
Yeah, they had made some arrangement, and I don't know the details, but the little 5 acre plot that the stones were sitting upon still, I think they legally belonged to the farm owner, but there was an easement or something that they had agreed to, and right now they're working on reversing that, so has his land back there.
Even though weren't they supposed to be rebuilt?
That was the original intent of the designers. Now, the Granite Association, the head of that thing, hopes that they will get rebuilt, but nobody's going to just do it without funding and stuff. The mayor, I think he made a comment that he was hoping that a different monument could be built, and I think he said he wanted something like the black obelisk from 2001 to be built there, or something like that. And then the the preacher, that lady down in South Georgia who had been talking up destroying the stones leading up to them being blown up. She is on record as saying she wants to put a big cross up there instead. So a lot of different opinions. I hope they rebuild it. I like them being there, despite whatever your opinion is of their intention. It was a cool thing to have here in Georgia. It was a famous part of the whole grand conspiracy thing, and I was happy to have it here.
Well, you know who really wants it rebuilt? The people that are going to make the new ones.
Right.
Yes.
I only recently learned about them in the past few years from listening to the propaganda report, and I don't. It always just felt like just silly to me, which is crazy because I love a good conspiracy theory. Maybe it just wasn't dumb enough for me. Like, is the Earth flat? I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm not going to look into it. And do I think it's probably round? Sure, but you could convince me it's flat.
Did you, Keel, did you tell us at one point how much they cost? Because it kind of been cheap to put this stuff up.
No, the granite company that was approached by RJ Christian initially said no, because it was too complicated and too weird of a project. And so they quoted him a very exorbitant amount, and I don't know what that is, but the guy RJ Christian just immediately said yes, and so they couldn't refuse. It was just too much money.
Mm-hmm.
Can't blame the guy for saying yes to a big pile of cash.
Yep.
It's got to be some well-connected group, you feel, behind it. A lot of people thought it was Ted Turner, didn't they? Because didn't he live in Georgia for a long time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like to think it was just a guy that came in, like, not a rich guy, but like a poor person that got money and then like spent it all on this, thinking that there'd be more money to come, and he did that, and then he ended up dead broke again right after. That's
just
my
screw
favorite.
with our head.
Yeah, just like, this is gonna be freaking hilarious, man.
Yeah, it's weird. Keel did change my, sway my opinion a little bit on it, because when I first heard it, I was like, good, fuck them, fuck the globalists, But I did see some people make some good points. They're like, look, this was a monument to what they said, what their intentions are. And so it's actually kind of good for us to still have that. And since when is it good? Since when do we support the tear down monuments crowd, or liberty people supporting that kind of stuff? So I thought it was a really good point. And then I had seen with the dark clouds over Georgia, the conversations in this group. And then there's another gal, really graceful, who had a video about it. And it's a fascinating subject. And I do ultimately, now I have changed my opinion, and I do think it's unfortunate that it was blown up and torn down.
I mean, I think it was done by, the powers that be, though.
Oh, I do too. I think it was an inside job.
Yeah, so that makes me mad that they did it.
Yeah, because they had a reason for it. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're my enemy, so I'm going to be upset whenever they do something I can be upset with them about.
For sure, the enemy class.
Exactly.